games. Been getting my Final Fantasy VII on.
Remake?
Yeah, remake. Getting
Oh
my
god,
getting nostalgia.
I have watched 4 different playthroughs, and then that 2-hour spoiler cast about discussing the game. I'm assuming you haven't finished it yet?
No, I'm at the part where you find like this game is so long. I'm like, why are we doing all these weird side quests? What is this weird fucking side story of Jessie? Like she's supposed to be dead by now. Why is she still alive?
Yeah, then I can't really discuss anything because you gotta finish the game for you to discuss it unless it's been spoiled for you already.
I haven't been spoiled yet. I just know from the original. I'm at the part where you finally meet Flower Girl Eris again, and I'm like, oh, we're finally at this part. We're supposed to be at this part like hours ago.
Well, when you finish the game, remember that spoiler cast link that I put up in Inspiration because you're gonna want to watch that.
Oh,
It's a
great.
2-hour long video, just about 4 people who loved Final Fantasy VII talking about the game and the things that happen in it.
Well,
Because Final Fantasy VII is a weird game now.
Oh,
Well, no, I mean now I beat the original too. I'm just saying that there's things that I can't talk about, and I can't talk about why I can't talk about them because that existence alone is a spoiler.
I mean, the original was a weird game.
Right, but I just mean again, I can't discuss the things I can't discuss without spoiling.
Yeah, I got you. I gotta finish it. I gotta finish this game.
Right, so just remember that link is up there because there's gonna be things that you're gonna want to watch.
Oh man, we'll find out.
Like I said, I've watched 4 complete playthroughs of it. I can't play it, I don't have the system, but I've watched multiple playthroughs of it because it's so good.
We'll see. They better not change the plot. I'll be super upset. They better not. That's all I'm saying.
So you're just at the point where you met Aerith again? So like you fell through the church?
You fell and you go into the church, like that classic scene. Yeah.
Did you play any of the side games? The original side games? Like Crisis Core or Dirge of Cerberus or
I don't know. I never played Crisis Core. I played Cerberus.
So you played the worst one, but not the good ones.
I know about Crisis Core. I know what happens because it kind of extends on about Zack and stuff like that. I watched the movie. God, it was so long ago. Like, I remember playing these games when I was like fucking 9.
Right. No, I spent days, like, I literally did not go home. I was at my friend playing the game.
Being so fucking confused at age 9, be like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck? What is this plot? It doesn't make any sense.
I just loved how open world it was, and it literally had the first tower defense I ever played. Because you remember there's that thing where the guys are climbing up the mountain, and you have to put stuff in the parts of the mountain to fight them off?
Yeah.
Yeah, the very first tower defense.
Yeah. There's crazy stuff in that game that made, like, just come out of nowhere. You find that fucking casino in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, golden saucer.
Yeah. You do the chocobo race.
And breed chocobos.
There's so many random things in this fucking game.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That sounds awesome. I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Reset the fortune pool, and let's roll initiative, everybody.
Of course. Oh, did I update my stuff? I don't think I did. Do it now.
Cool, broke 20.
Nash is alive.
Oh god.
Looks
And
like
that's
a
why his
good,
initiative is so high, because he's no longer entirely mortal.
a ghost. He's a ghost monster. Ghost ogre.
Or as they're called colloquially, Gogers.
All I can imagine now is him eating those
Yeah,
Gogurt tubes.
That's exactly where I went to.
I mean, we kind of faded to black on his death, so maybe he's just out there with that monster.
Well,
these are actually pretty good.
I think we found his corpse.
Yeah.
Did
yeah,
we
I
though?
found it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, who
that's
found
a
it?
good point.
You're saying Rutherford found it? Lies. Fake news.
I found all your shit.
Okay. And now that we've done that important task, I reset the fortune. Make sure you clear your corruption. Spend any reward points. By the way, about how close are we to finishing up our first tier?
I invested extra experience on that one thing that one time, so I have 200 to go until I go to my next tier.
Oh, okay. That's still pretty close. That's like a
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
200, and then the buy-in to the next tier is also 200.
no, it's 200 is the buy-in to the next tier. But
Oh.
I spent 200 extra on a skill, so everybody else, I'd assume, should either be 100 away or there.
How many total points do you have?
How many total points do you have?
1960.
Let me just double check. I think I'm the same, but I am 1905. I'm assuming that you had easier alignments than I do.
Oh yeah.
I'm at 690, so I've still got about 1,000 points to go.
Okay, so I see Rutherford is... No, that's not Rutherford. Alexandre.
So we're about the same. We're about, give or take, 200 from our next.
Genevieve, it looks like you've missed a couple upgrades by accident.
I did.
Yeah, like 200 points behind everyone else.
What? I thought I was like on top of it.
Yeah, because I feel like, unless you just like miss that extra XP every session, but I don't feel like you do.
I know, that's
I feel
why
like
I'm
you get it in
confused.
most sessions.
That doesn't make sense. Like, she's the one who's writing up the summaries, right? Like, shouldn't she be getting extra XP for that?
Rasmussen, you're also way off.
No, I've been very diligent. It's just that because a lot of the sessions, I'm not actually doing anything either heroic or martyrdom.
I gotcha.
I'm missing out. And plus, don't forget, there was that one session that I missed, so I didn't get XP for that. So no, my XP tracks. I'm just behind.
You should have. You were there for half the session. You should have gotten that XP. So okay, so that'll help a little bit. Give yourself 100 and I think just give yourself 125 because we probably got it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
I just want to make sure we don't have like a situation where somebody's in the mid tier for like 2 sessions. I want to make sure everybody kind of hits there at the right time at the same.
I'm pretty sure I'm on track because the 200 I think you're thinking of is stuff that I use for focuses. Yeah.
Well, it says your total XP is 1,700.
Well, right now it's 1,800, but I don't know if it's supposed to be.
Yeah, maybe you've missed your thing a lot then. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Spending on focuses. Yeah. Oh yeah, you've got 5 focuses. That's expensive.
Yeah.
But worth it for you since you take a lot of barrel.
Mhm.
Also, you should probably be unhindered at this point. Okay. All right. That's bookkeeping stuff. Looks like we're good. Rules corrections. When I found out I was doing wrong is I was mistakenly resetting our action points at the start of every round when realistically it should be the start of your turn. So if you're at the end of the round, you can't just dump all your AP and then get them back a second later to be able to defend yourself. That's my mistake.
I've been doing that. I mean, every turn. Because certain actions have to be taken in the middle of a round, so...
Yeah, I was...
So the bad guys have been acting wrong and getting a bonus over us.
Yeah, and I've also been what's it called? I know I've been telling people who have been at the bottom of initiative to like go ahead, just spend all your AP, you'll get it back at the top of your round. So I know I have been doing that as well.
So what we're saying is Nash is alive.
I don't think so.
All in all, fairly minor
there's
stuff.
a chance.
Yeah. And there was something I was doing wrong about flanking, which I had looked up, but I have since forgotten. So when that comes relevant, I will be quickly reading behind the scenes. Yeah. And speaking of doing things behind the scenes, Genevieve, you want to go ahead and give us your fantastic summary of last week's session?
All right, let me scroll down to it. If I have it, if I wrote it, where did I write it? Oh my God! Did it delete itself? It deleted itself.
No.
Did it? Let's see. Oh my God! I think it did.
This is the last session. I'm looking.
Are you sure? Because I'm kind of confused. Okay, right.
Yeah, because
it is.
Alexandria came back. Yeah.
You're right. See, I'm the one who's being confused and thinking I didn't write notes. So Dash and Selma get attacked by some creature with an icy blade. So we see Nash get axed by the creature while Selma runs off. We don't know what happened to her. 6 to 7 days, we kind of like went forward in time. Ras and Rutho get better during that time. Jean fortifies the town, provides an escape route, and we've had no luck in finding Selma. Jean and her younger brother argue in the street about the state of the town, or in her brother's case, about the state of the mead, because he's upset because there's no deliveries. Ras has a meeting with the rest of the party, discussing that we should find Jean's mother. We should visit the Bogan Castle, and I think Russo wanted a better idea of the graft. We had this huge discussion about the graft last session, like huge discussion. Russo, so we went out. We've decided to find Jean's mom. So the three of us went out. We found Nash's body, and Ras is looking for signs of what may have happened. We didn't find anything. I think we did. At that time, Ras talks about Carla. We found that Rutho is engaged to her, and that he says that he loves her. And I think Ras kind of discusses about the Graff's drama and their whole family dilemma. That's kind of discussed. A few days pass as they're exploring. Yak was found. We didn't find any more clues, really. Ras describes the green man. Jean says it's Allinger, the old miner, who asked about the hunter. When we get back to town, Alexandria comes back with his entourage. He comes back with like a whole army, little tiny army, with Mar Grenstock, and they get settled. Alexandra talks. I think he wants to talk to Rutherford. He confronts Rutherford about his title. He declares that his real name is Rutherford, and that he will be a lord, but not right now. Alexander offers Rutherford an estate, and he says that a notary will come to give him the title. In return, he simply wants Rutherford as an ally. Rutherford also asks Alexander if he can teach him how to read. Alexander reveals the original Graf died, but his daughter is missing. Rutherford says that like his sister killed him, but there's apparently no evidence. Apparently, she got married by the time that the original Graf died. Alexander says, okay, so it's possible. So Graf Elfham, if I'm saying that right, is the new Graft. Later on, Genevieve talks. Yeah, later on, Genevieve spills the beans to Alexander about Carla and Rutherford's relationship to her. He gives her the authority to recruit townsfolk. I think we recruited like 10. Jean's younger brother makes a fuss and storms out of the town. Jean tells Rutherford and Ras about how Alexander doesn't want Carla to die, and Rutherford talks about the next course of actions. Meanwhile, Alexander talks to Elja, and that's where I ended my notes. I don't remember.
That's pretty comprehensive.
I don't remember what happened after that, but if there's
You
anything
forgot
else
what
I missed.
food they ate while they were discussing things. How
Yeah,
dare you?
that's all I got for you.
Excellent. So last week I said we had taken off with the a couple days after Alexandre arrives, the sorry, what I say was the notary. The notary
The
is
notary and a knight.
yeah was designed to arrive at town. Something has been brought to my attention that actually happened before. So before we see that happen, we're gonna have a quick scene here. Genevieve, where do you normally sleep?
Wherever she passes out.
Jeb isn't around, so I think she's mostly on her feet. Are you still staying at the little dragoon's hut in the village?
Me?
Yeah, you. Sorry.
I imagine, yeah. I think I don't know what's happening with the manor. I think Genevieve's too creeped out by her own home to go back to sleep in there. That place is weird. It's acting weird.
So you are sleeping one night when while you're asleep, and you feel a slight rasp of a wooden stick on your flesh as it taps on you.
How? I'll wake up. What's going on?
You see a Sergeant Mark Rensock standing before you, and he goes, "Ma'am, I got bad news."
Oh yeah, she sits up immediately. What's the bad news?
Can I speak freely, ma'am?
Yes, you may.
Right. So this night somebody was fixing to leave on their ferry you got in the town. Some boys got him. Looked over something based on a tip he said he got.
Mm-hmm.
And found something mighty suspicious. So we brought that to the attention of the elf fellow, seeing as how you was asleep. And well, he told us to make sure we lock them two up. So that's kind of where you sleep, ma'am, and you should probably know.
So they caught somebody at the ferry? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
And where are they being kept again?
Well, we just got him under watch because the only jail is right there.
Okay, so Jean's gonna get up and see who they captured.
Standing outside in cuffs is Horseface and your brother, Liveabold. And he looks like a little disparaged and maybe embarrassed or in shock. And Horseface seems relatively passive.
So Genevieve kind of looks at her brother and she's like, what have you been up to?
I've been up to nothing. Somebody said they planted some illegal alcohol on our ship, which wouldn't even make sense. And then they found a sealed note, so they brought it to that fucking knife ears, and he opened it, and he said this is proof of our treasonous ways or something. Genevieve, what is this?
Oh God. Who discovered this?
The fucking the knife ears. Alexandre, is that his name? Fashions himself some kind of, I don't know what now. And these brutes that are supposed to be your brutes, I suppose, have ruffled me. I don't deserve this.
So she kind of looks at the soldiers in front of her, and then she kind of like gives them a signal like you can let her brother go. But she kind of looks at Horseface and she's like, were you just ferrying my brother away from here?
She goes, yep, that's my job.
So she tells the soldiers, she's like, don't worry, that's just a ferryman. He's probably fine. And she kind of like, I'll just take care of this guy. So she kind of like takes her brother and she's like, I thought you were leaving town.
I was trying to. And then that horrid creature he's trying to pin crimes on me.
She's like, you probably upset him, and now you're getting the brunt of it. But she kind of smiles and she says, look, you don't have to worry about what you saw in the ferry. Just don't worry about it. That has nothing to do with you.
He says, so why are you dragging me?
Because if I don't drag you, it's going to be the other soldiers dragging you and throwing you to jail because they don't know who you are, and I know who you are.
So you're going to drag him and throw him into jail?
No.
Oh.
I'm just going to drag him and throw him into the hut with me.
Sergeant Marr looks at you. Like he doesn't really ever make eye contact, but like he kind of looks in your general direction, but he makes sure his eyes are always shaded by a helmet or a hat or something. And he says, "Man, want me to make sure you don't get out?"
He's fine. He's harmless. And she says, he just decided to try to leave town too late at night. She's like, I'll take care of him. Don't you worry. Thank you for informing me. And she kind of like, she kind of just grabs her brother and she's just like, she's like, be a good brother for once and actually like listen to what's going on around you. I already told you it's dangerous right now, and you're not listening to me, and this is what happens. This is why you get into trouble.
You, I don't have to listen to you. Father doesn't even like you.
Yeah, but you know what? Father decided to throw me into the wolves and made me a soldier. And guess what? I'm a soldier, which means I can actually smack you with a sword. I actually have the authority to.
And he likes Sniffles, but you more than once proved your siblings' superiority over him. So I don't think there's any check required here. He will stay put for the moment.
Yeah, she's just gonna have him like sleep in the hut with her. She doesn't want him in the manor because she doesn't feel like that place is safe. And she's definitely not gonna throw him in jail. She's not that cruel.
Well, you only have like 2 beds in there, so you can give him your bed, and then you can sleep in the jail, or he can sleep in the jail. With the door
Whatever, it
closed.
doesn't matter. She probably threatened him to sleep in the jail, and he'll be like too scared, and she'd be like, "Yeah, I'll just sleep in the jail. Just relax."
Okay. So morning, I suppose, a few days, or it's that morning. Genevieve, I guess it's still on you as you wake up because you have knowledge of a supposed treachery.
Mhm. Can I find Horseface?
Yeah, he's at his boat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him.
He's just like, no, he sleeps on his boat. You come on it. It's like a big river barge. It's
Oh,
fairly
okay.
large.
I get you.
Yeah, it's for shipping goods and stuff. He has a mule that helps carry it in certain parts of the river where he doesn't have to row it. And so yeah, it's a very large boat. He's sleeping on it. You can easily get him up in the morning, and he looks at you and he goes, Mr. Groom, what can I do for you?"
And she just like outright like tells him, like, you need to do a better job hiding that illegal alcohol around.
"We wasn't shipping nothing, ma'am, I promise."
You need to be careful because if I'm not the one to drag you and Elja into trouble, it's going to be my brother who does, because my brother has the authority of my father, who actually controls the meat around this area. So you better watch out.
But I'm telling you, ma'am, we wasn't this. Scrutinize test if you want, or if you don't care, you can just keep rating him.
No, she kind of looks at him and she says, when was your last shipment out?
Well, technically never, ma'am, but if I was a truth-telling man, I would say weeks ago.
She kind of looks at Horseface and she's like, have you seen anything strange along the river?
Not really. There being talk with the other boaters that there was some robbers not too long ago, but be expected with the war.
I didn't see anything unusual.
Except for all the snow around here.
Oh, I'm gonna ask out of character. So, is the snow early for this?
Yes. Now, leaves have started to turn, but it they hadn't actually quite. So you have a lot of exploding, in quotation marks, exploding trees right now, with like branches falling off and liquid freezing. So it's definitely
she's like, you're not planning on doing any shipments right now, are you?
no, ma'am.
All right. And she kind of eyes him, but she says, she says, uh, just so you know, I'm not going to be saying anything. And she's going to make her way towards the inn to meet the rest of the group.
Yeah. The rest of you are being served your morning breakfast. It's probably very, very basic oatmeal or some kind of hot cereal. And I guess probably chilling in the common room because there's really not that many spaces in the end. Maybe Alexandre is in his office room. It's on you guys. What do you do?
Well, I believe that the plan that we had discussed previously was what the hell did we decide on? I can't recall.
Do you really not recall?
I honestly don't recall.
Do you want me to remind you?
Yes, please.
It involves a castle.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what we wanted to do.
I don't know. I was just
we
waiting to see
still all
what Jen
good
was
for
going to
that?
do.
Yeah, I think our next course was we couldn't find Genevieve's mob, so that's a thing. And then our next area was the castle. If we want to go there.
Yeah, that's right. We wanted to go check it to see if it had any information that we could dig up on the last time these weird occurrences took place. We also wanted to see what kind of resources we might be able to get from there. And we wanted to see if this might be a good place to act as a base of operations in case we need to fall back to it, given the troubles of the village, right? Am I missing anything?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to use it as a fort if we could, maybe. I don't know. It's a possibility. We don't know what's in the castle.
Well, it's a castle, which means that if nothing else, it's an excellent defensive position in case we have to deal with those beastmen.
Yeah. True.
So there's obviously Genevieve, Rutherford, Rasmussen. Presumably, we're going to want to get Alexandre involved in this.
Yeah, I think collect everybody.
Okay, well, I guess one of you go and let Alexandre know what we're doing and see if he wants to jump in. And while you guys are doing that, I'll provision, horses or carts or whatever it is that we can find for the journey. I can't imagine it's that far away.
It's only like 3 days away, I think, right? I don't remember.
It's not quite that far away. It's it's a day to leisurely pace. Right?
Oh,
Days
okay. A day away at least.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll see if I can go about getting provisions and whatnot for the journey there. And whenever we're all ready, we'll reconvene here at the inn and we'll.
Excellent. So, Genevieve, do you want to go get Alexandre, or do you want me to?
Doesn't matter to me either way. I'll probably, I'll talk to him because he probably needs to tell me a thing or two.
And another thing, you kids today.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get Alexander or Alexandre, as we call. Why can't we just call him Alex? What do
Because
we have?
his name, because he's an elf.
He's
He
so
wouldn't just have a
cute.
name like
Yeah.
Alex.
So funny.
Very well. And we'll prepare myself.
Now, it'll also be confusing because that's my name.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Genevieve just goes to find Alexandre.
Right, now we'll answer my door, see that it's Genevieve. Ah, Genevieve, please come in.
She comes in and then she says, I hope my brother hasn't bothered you again.
I have not seen him since last night.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
he didn't leave last night. He's still here.
I thought, given the words exchanged between us, it would perhaps be for the best interests of the town that he not leave. So I sent out an escort to bring him back before, he said something inappropriate back in Skansburg, that we might clear up the scenario. That's when the guards came back and told me that they found... Sorry, my brain just stopped working all of a sudden. Shit, what do you call it? Illegal alcohol. What do you call that again?
Yeah, illegal alcohol.
Well, no, there's a word. There's a single word, specifically like in Prohibition era, that they would use.
Booze?
No, anyway, we'll just work with illegal alcohol right now. I'll figure it out later.
Not spirits.
No, you guys are just naming different forms of alcohol.
You're thinking of a bootlegger?
Bootleg. Yeah, there we go. That's probably closer to what I'm saying.
Yep, that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
That they were transporting bootleg alcohol. But more than that, when they were searched, one of the guardsmen found this. And he'll say it like he had some sort of dramatic reveal, but then he'll slowly turn around and walk back towards his desk and hand you an opened, formerly sealed opened letter. He'll hand it to you, as I just said, twice.
What's in the letter? Tell me.
I know you can read. We had a whole conversation about your ability to read.
What are the letters saying? Where are the written contents of this letter?
So I know we had talked about this, Alexandre, that you had read the letter. Do you want me to go over it? Or do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know what it says.
Okay. So the letter says that it seems to be addressed to a third party that's anonymous, right? It's written somewhere. I guess they assumed whoever had it knew where to deliver it. And in it, it had a description of it had a location that Carla's daughter, or that the Graf's daughter Carla, was spotted here, and details about the town's garrison and defenses. It's all the information that you would need if you were planning to attack or try and destabilize this town in any way.
Team looks at Alexandre with big eyes and says, or trouble, is this weird? Oh, cool. Ooh, this is bad.
Yes, I'm aware of that. That's why I had them both arrested.
Wait, did you find them? Wait, so he had her brother and Horseface arrested for finding this letter on them?
Well, they actually found illegal alcohol. But they had just, while searching them, found, a suspicious looking letter, and immediately in the guards' heads, that has to go to somebody important. So that's what they did. They gave it to somebody.
She kind of looks like, wait, who had this letter? Was it my brother?
That was my understanding.
she looks a little upset, and then she says, should I take care of this now before I tell you that we were planning to leave to the Bogana Castle to see what's in there?
I would have assumed that you took care of it last night. I was told that it was being brought to your attention. After all, you are the Dragoon.
I had no idea about this letter last night. I just thought my brother was doing something stupid, and oh my god, she's gonna race out of the room.
Yeah, I imagine in a flurry, you
Yeah.
run back across the street to the little dragoon's hut. You open the door. And
Every
your
time you
brother
call
is
it that,
still
it sounds like a
sleeping.
bathroom.
It's about the size of an outhouse.
Pardon me, guys. I have to go to the little Dragoon's hut.
It's a cute name. So seeing them there, I pretty much like hold up the letter to his face and be like, "What's this?"
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
She looks at him and she says, "You better not be lying to me."
You can take a normal scrutinized test.
All right. God damn it! If it's horse face, oh my god.
He seems to be telling the truth from what you know of your sibling.
She kind of eyes him and she says, "You sure?"
Yes, Genevieve. What do you think? I'm some kind of spy?
I don't know. That's true. Your sort of like interrogation and charm is pretty lacking. So I mean that could make you a perfect spy because nobody would suspect you of anything, but it also means you'd be a terrible spy. So she just kind of grabs him and she kind of shakes him, not too aggressively. And she's like, "You better not be lying to me, brother. This is really important. This letter contains very vital information about this town."
Go ahead and make an intimidate check.
All right. Who's either going to be annoyed or intimidated?
Historically, when you intimidate somebody, you usually pass out, so...
No, he's not. He's just annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just annoyed. He says, yeah, as you try to get him, he says, Genevieve, this is why Father trusts me more. Obviously, you're too slow to understand. I could never have anything to do with this.
She takes a deep breath. She says, "If you do, by the great God himself, I will destroy you." She's like, "And I will make sure that you will never marry."
Ooh, Genevieve's getting real now.
You won't live far enough to kiss a girl.
Suffer 2 corruption, I think. Just for general sibling.
Yep, totally legit.
Yeah, it's legitimate. I get it. Yeah. I love it. General just sibling abuse. From there, she's gonna she kind of eyes him, but then she sees if she can find Horseface. She'll beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, he's still chilling on his boat.
She's bothering these poor people. Okay. She kind of like runs up to the deck and she's like, Horseface! God damn it. Did you have this letter?
I don't know how to read, ma'am. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Genevieve.
Do you recognize the paper?
Gosh, make another interrogation. Make it hard.
Oh
Horseface
my
is
god.
hard. It's hard to read, so make this challenging.
Oh my god. It's gonna be even worse.
Are you trained in interrogation?
What was
I'm
that?
terrible.
I said, are you
Terrible.
trained?
Yeah.
No, I'm not Trey.
Okay, that's a flip
Yeah,
to fail
flip
then.
to fail.
Okay.
Yeah, 92. Yeah. So you try to get the information out of him, but he resists. He doesn't. He kind of clams up. He just like stops speaking, and he just like gets a glazed look in his eyes. He just kind of
She
like walks
says-
out to that distance.
Oh my god. So, by doing that, she looks at him. She says, Alright, you're guilty. Let's go to jail.
Oh wow, that's harsh.
Yeah, suffer 3 corruption. Jesus.
She's just saying that just to see if he says anything.
No, he won't say anything. So like he'll let you drag him to jail.
No, if he doesn't like resist, she's gonna get upset. So she's just she just said that to see what he would say. She's not really gonna do it, but this is funny. So she's like, God damn it, Horseface! If you don't tell me, you realize you could have been something very, very dangerous to somebody that we do not know.
Yeah.
She's like, if you don't tell, I don't care how much they paid you. It's like it's more if gold is more better than your life, like Horseface, then that just goes to show how much you don't care about this town or your livelihood. Because if this information got out, be gone your little fairy, because your boat is gone, your meal is gone, this whole life is gone.
Make
Not
it
by my hands.
intimidate.
All right.
Make it intimidate before you keep yelling at him. And keep it challenging.
Okay. Oh my god, this dude, he's so hard-headed. Let's see, where is intimidate? I just saw it and now it's oh, there it is. I'm not skilled in it, by the way.
He cracks. That's okay. It's not a flip to fail.
Okay.
Yeah, he cracks.
Yeah.
And he yells and says, "He goes, all right, Miss Genevieve. I was bringing the alcohol, but I ain't bringing no letter on the boat."
She kind of lets out a sigh of relief and she says, "That's fine." She's like, "Was there anyone else on the boat with you when you got caught?"
Just me, that young man, and
Who?
Donkus Mule.
She nods and then she says, "Okay, fine. Don't make unnecessary ferry rides right now. We're probably gonna need your boat in case of an emergency."
Oh, okay.
So don't plan any trips. And then she kind of just like slowly walks backwards and then like makes her way back to the She's just racing around town. You just see this girl running away.
Yeah. Okay. Back at the inn.
So you're just gonna see Genevieve like running up towards Alexandra's room and then like huffing and puffing as her hands are on her knees. And she's like, I don't know who brought this letter in, and it wasn't Horseface, and I'm not sure about my brother, but who knows? He can be dumb, but he also can be smart, and he's tricky. But he seems to tell me the truth, so I don't know who or why this letter was with them.
Genevieve, is that you out there? The door is unlocked.
So she opens the door, and she's like, okay, I talked to everybody. She's just like out of breath, and she's like, and I don't think anybody knows where this letter came from. So that's pretty much all I got.
What are you talking about?
She's talking about the letter.
No, I know that. I'm asking her.
Oh, she said, I talked to Horseface and my brother.
Right, I told you what I was told. That they found it on your brother.
He apparently he says he didn't see it. He says it's not his. So I don't know if I should believe him or not.
I mean, it is rather damning evidence.
I know, but he says it was never on. Like he's never seen it before.
No, by which I mean it's rather damning. To
I know,
admit
I know.
to it is to, I don't know. What is this? Treason? No, I'm honestly, I don't know what you would consider this I mean, because he's giving away information about the defense of the town, plus information about a possible heir to the kingdom. I don't know, is this treason, or is it just like...
I don't know, Alexandre. You get to you pretty much get to make up the laws here, so you can decide.
Right, but again, the previous discussion I had with Genevieve was that I didn't know how to even classify Carla's existence. So how do I then make up a law about somebody trying to do something about her? I mean, obviously it's a bad thing, but what is it legally? It's like almost attempted former regicide, but is it like... Is it treason, or...
It's like conspiracy to commit murder.
I think, yeah.
Like
Yeah, something like that. It's a conspiracy to
and then not knowing who the recipient is, because if you guys' assumption is correct that the current Graf would then be wanting to get rid of all evidence of a former Graf's bloodline, then it's not even treason. I mean, it's the prevention of something evil, but it's not treason, because it'd be treason to go against the current Graf.
Yeah, so it would just be murder, right? It would just be murder at that point.
Right.
If you're just trying, yeah.
So...
But legally, even if we had Carla back, the power wouldn't go back to her anyways. It would go back to the next male. So, like, out of character-wise, like, if Rutherford doesn't, like, quickly prove that he's already been, like, engaged to her or married to her in some way, like, then it doesn't matter. Like, the graft it wouldn't care, like, if she's alive or not, because the power would still go to him.
Okay. These are very good points. Gonna clap my hands. Genevieve, is Rutherford down in the inn right now?
I think he is, yeah.
Do you think we should bring him in on this?
Well, yeah, he's the one who went out of his way to hide her.
Right. Okay. Go ahead and bring him in, and we'll bring him up, and we'll discuss this, the three of us.
Yeah. So yeah, Genevieve will go grab Rutherford, drag that man.
being dragged around.
Man, just dragging everybody around, just running to places and dragging people around.
Making my way
Bully.
downtown.
Do you put cuffs on him?
Faces fast.
Nah, I probably just like pinch him. He'll probably be like, "Oh no."
Alexandre wants to talk to you again. Oh, great. What does he want now?
Yeah, yeah.
Something
I mean,
like
he's
that.
only gonna make me a lord. You're
I still
the
don't know what he wants.
lowborn Eeyore is what you are. Okay, Pooh.
It'll work out.
Yep. So yeah, I'm
So-
gonna go grab Rutherford.
All right. So while you guys are up there, right, you go up there. As soon as you leave the room, Rutherford, in that moment, Rasmussen, you're now the only person on the common floor, along with the innkeeper Lucius. When the door swings open, and you see a armored figure, head to toe in ornate plate mail, come striding through the door. And he's followed by a Weasley little man with a foppish hat.
Not to
And
not to interject real quick right here, but Rasmussen went out to get horses and stuff.
Oh, did he? Well, that's even better because he can see the procession.
Yeah.
Then on the outskirts of town, that makes more sense. Rasmussen, while you're out collecting what horses and pack animals you can from the town, you see a procession of three men on horses, a what looks like a priest, an armored knight, and a foppish man. Nero, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, you see these three approaching town. Is there anything you want to do?
Well, I'm considering whether I should simply, uh, stay low key and just keep an eye on them, note where they go, where they're headed, and if they're heading towards the inn, I obviously want to give Rutherford and Genevieve a heads up, and if Alexandre's with them, I'll give him a heads up as well.
Sounds good. So you're shuffling back to the inn. Yeah.
That was funny though. For a second, I want to give Rutherford and Genevieve a warning, and fuck Alexandre.
Well, no,
I
because
laughed
you
at
were
that.
you were in the room, right? So if I enter and I don't see you there, I'll let the people know who are immediately. I'll let them know, and then they can let you know.
Yeah. It's likely. But in the
I'm sticking to
office, in the office, the three of you burst in. Well, I guess the two of you burst back in as Genevieve has been.
Yeah. Wait. Why did I leave?
Yeah, you didn't leave, but the two of them burst in. I imagine Rutherford actually, for some reason, is shoved in first.
Rutherford, go talk to Alexandre.
Welcome back, Sir Rutherford.
Hello, Alexandre. What is why am I being shoved around? What's wrong now?
Well, I do not know why you're being shoved around. I simply wanted to speak to you in the presence of Genevieve. In fact, Genevieve, why don't you tell him why he's here?
She in a panic, she just grabs Rutherford by the shoulders and she's just like, Rutherford, we found a suspicious letter on my brother last night. Apparently, he claims that he has no idea what that letter is about. And then Horseface, who's with him in the ferry, also claims doesn't know anything about it at all because he can't read and whatnot. It says stuff about Carla and her population here, and then it also talks about, the state of the town, how many people are in here, essentially enough information that there could be an attack here. And I don't know who this letter was being addressed to. There was no information on that, but it's some damning letter, okay? and we need to think of something, because if somebody decides to attack us because of Carla, we're in big trouble. We already have enough on our plate. Rutherford, do something. Think of something. Just like throwing all this information on him.
Where's your brother?
He's in the Dragoon Hut right now, claiming to not know anything. In fact, he seems to be in a rush. Unless you want to talk to him.
Keep him there.
Okay.
Hmm. So, someone's.
Sorry, I think you broke up there for a second. All I heard you say was someone's.
Yeah. Someone is. There's a plot here. This doesn't sound right.
Well,
No one knows Carla came here.
as I told Genevieve earlier, when she came bursting in, I was trying to isolate her brother before he went back to Skarnsburg and said something that would get this whole town into hot water. And in the process, the guards discovered, well, bootlegged alcohol, which is against the laws of the town, specifically because of the Basque family. And on her brother, they discovered that letter that Genevieve has.
Do you have the letter?
Genevieve does, yes.
Can I examine it?
Yeah, you can't. Oh, they don't know that. They don't
Do
know
I-
that.
Well, I mean, I
Do
know
I
that, but otherwise you wouldn't
recognize-
be asking to be taught to read.
The wax seal.